So now that fall's here, are you wondering what you should do about your yard? Today we're also talking about 11 surprisingly tiny quirks that can stop a sale in its tracks and 272 residences proposed along Portsmouth's North Mill Pond. Welcome to Cut to the Chase with Jen and Dan. This is episode 13 today. My name is Dan Ferullo and my co-host is Jennifer Freed. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning, everyone.
What a great day today. A little cloudy and a little bit, but it's warm. It's not cold, which I like.
I know, we're still a little bit in fake summer.
Yeah.
Fall is coming, and along with it, all of the yard work that comes with it. So let's dive into article number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. So the new fall landscaping trends. So right now, the landscaping trends for fall are jewel tones and cozy vibes. So there's a new color palette, jewel tones, taking hold in landscaping, and it's among the hotter trends for this fall, which is according to the National Association of Landscape Professionals. Apparently 77% of Americans report relaxing in their yards at least once a month. So there are some ideas for... So here are some ideas for getting that, making your home look cozy. Making your yard look cozy this fall.
Well, that's actually, I'm glad that you said that, because the outdoor space these days, and especially in New Hampshire and southern Maine, they're just an extension of your inside space. They become like an extra room of your house. And
for a few months at least.
Yeah, folks come up here for our beaches and our mountains, but they come up for the fall leaf peeping, and I know we hate the traffic, but, we sure do love our backyards looking so nice, so take advantage of it with an outside seating area and pops of color.
Yeah, so jewel tones such as sapphire blue, emerald green, amethyst purple, ruby red, and citrine yellow all bring warmth to fall landscape design. Landscapers are recommending adding jewel tones to outdoor spaces through unique container gardens, decorative furnishings, and accessories, and also seasonal plantings, apparently like pansies, celosia, dianthus, and black-eyed Susan. I'm so I don't have a green thumb at all, or a colorful thumb for the flowers. I mean, I like flowers, but I'm not good at making them live. So, and then outdoor furniture. Fire features, of course, are very popular. People like those one-touch things that you can just hit a button and turn on, which is really great. And pergolas have been really popular recently. So if you're thinking of, what you should do to spruce up your landscaping for the fall, there are some great ideas. We'll link this article up. It's a Realtor.com article. We'd love to hear what you guys are doing with your lawn this fall, or with your yard this fall.
Yeah, I love the fire pit idea, because it keeps me out in my backyard a good month longer than I would past the blanket coat season.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so next article, 11 surprisingly tiny home quirks that can stop a sale in its tracks. So, you're going to sell your house, you're kind of talking with your agent about, hey, what should I do to get my house ready for sale? And a lot of times you do focus on those big things that are really the most important, but there are some small things that perhaps you should take a look at as well. So we'll kind of run through these.
The big thing is, how are buyers going to view your house? Sometimes we get blind because we live there all the time. Sometimes having a friend over who you trust and hasn't been in your house a ton can walk through and say, like, yeah, I noticed this, and this.
I will say, too, though, I think the HGTV phenomenon has kind of, I don't know, it gives people the impression that all houses should be perfect. And I think that, I do think that some of these things are, nice things to have fixed, and it can make you wonder, all right, if this small thing is wrong, what is, are there any big things that are wrong? However, a lot of times that's not the case, and it's, there could be a great house with a stuck front door or a wobbly ceiling fan that, it's a minor fix that you can, so I think that we are, buyers are being a little bit pickier sometimes because of what they see on TV, and I wish that, they would take a more closer look at at the house in general rather than, just want it to be perfect.
Yeah, that, and I think as people are going through homes, they can come up with a laundry list of items, and if you flip it around and say, great, if I went to your house right now, what items would I find? Half of the list is the same. Oh yeah, we never put that switch plate cover on that light switch when we painted. And so every house has these things. So what are these 11?
All right, so first one is a stuck front door. So it's it's not nice to have to shove a shoulder into the front door to get it opened or closed. It's really nice to walk into a home where you just open it and it opens smoothly.
I get it though. That's your first impression is, ugh, I can't get in the house.
That's true. Wobbly ceiling fans. That one actually can seem a little scary, although I've never personally seen one fall. But they do look scary when they're going at high speed, and you could just kind of fly right out of the ceiling. Backward hot and cold water faucets. Nothing says failed DIY like cold water coming out when the hot water is turned on. So either fix that or hire a plumber to get that taken care of for you. Shaky banisters. This one could be a little bit.
Yeah, this one's worth talking about because depending on what kind of loan you get, staircases, there are some important codes there and
Safety for sure.
Railing heights and widths and stuff. So safety and loan ability for buyers.
Yes, exactly. Overstuffed closets. They're suggesting have closets and cabinets be at least 20% empty.
Yeah, I love that for staging a house, so you can really show off the storage amount.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then when there's stuff, people are like, oh, this house doesn't have enough room. But honestly, you know what I've seen the most this summer? Homes where people have taken the closet doors off and they didn't put them back on when they go to show the house. So buyers are left to say, well, if we want closet doors, are the doors here? Do we have to put them back on?
Yep.
So if it came with a door, when you go back to sell your house, you might want to put those doors back on because buyers do wonder.
Yes, for sure. Cranky garage doors, so make sure garage doors open smoothly and without a bunch of excess noise.
Those will get tested at your home inspection, more so if they will have the automatic, if it comes into contact with something, will it reverse direction? So, one of those is a nice to have, the other is it's going to come up at your home inspection.
Yeah, and safety things, of course, are, we're not talking about, all safety things should be taken care of. Noisy toilets. Apparently a noisy toilet often just needs a new flapper, so that's kind of a $10 fix that, is a nice thing to have fixed as well. Propped up windows, so repair or replace windows. I think this one's an important one because you don't want to be have your window held open by a shampoo bottle or something like that. And that could be dangerous too. If someone opens the window and just slams right down on their fingers.
That being said, if you're selling an older home and it has windows that are of a certain time period, it's good to just put it right out there. These are the age of these windows.
Sure.
These are the condition that they're in, so that buyers know that that's exactly what they're getting. Sometimes if you go to mask that, it's only just going to show up when the home inspector tests all of the windows, and you're going to have a conversation about your windows one way or the other.
Yep, exactly. Backyard gate that drags on the ground. You don't want your agent opening the gate to your beautiful garden to hear it scrape noisily on the pavers, concrete, or ground. Gates can be trimmed and adjusted over time so that they open smoothly. Squeaky floors. This can often be just like a nail that's popped up in the subfloor or something like that. So can be an easy fix, but sometimes it's not easy to get to it.
I have to believe that's a little bit regional because our homes are so old. It's the nature of some of the buildings that there's just a little bit of sound in some of the flooring.
That's true, yeah.
Not because there's anything wrong, but because it was built in 1750.
Yeah.
So I'm not so sure. Squeaky floors, if they just put down laminate, yeah, maybe there's something wrong there, but I'm not so sure on that one.
Yeah, well, here's a quick tip. If you can't get to your subfloor easily, you try sprinkling talcum powder around the noisy floorboards and sweeping into cracks in the floor to shush squeaks. I'm not sure how that would help, but it's an interesting
probably
thing.
just a little bit of a lubricant of some kind.
And unprofessional patch jobs. So putty, caulking, and paint make the carpenter what he ain't. That's funny.
That's funny. There's a hashtag there somewhere.
Yeah, right. So referencing the liberal use of materials by some sellers to put cosmetic bandages over imperfections in a home, and that's certainly something that you don't ever want to do, is just put a Band-Aid over something to make it appear as if it's been if it's been fixed when it really has just been, you know, covered over or hidden.
Here's a question for you, Dan. So you've got let's say your seller has a busy house with tons of kids, and man, one of the kids poked a hole in the wall with a baseball up in their bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
What do they do about that? Obviously, they want a professional patch job to fix the hole. Let's say it's typical material.
Yep. Well, like sheetrock or something.
Yeah. So let's say sheetrock. So patch it, paint the whole room before they sell, or patch it and say, yeah, disclose we had a baseball that went in the wall. When you pick the color that you want to paint the room, you know, you'll end up painting it. How do you do that, Dan?
I guess it depends on whether you have the paint color at hand. If you can just patch it and paint over it. I mean, I don't think that you always have to paint the entire room. I guess it would depend on how big the hole is too. But I would say patching a hole is an easy fix rather than kind of just leaving it empty, because I've certainly had holes in walls before too. So
Gotcha.
So I think it's definitely the patch job. Having that done is definitely.
Mom
an
always
important
said,
thing.
don't play ball in the house.
Yes, that's true. My brothers always did though. So.
Yeah, so did the whole Brady Bunch.
All right, so have you had any issues with your home sale? You know, we'd love to hear about it in the comments. Any little things like this that have come up that have, you know, become a problem at your home inspection or anything like that. We'd love to hear about that too.
Yeah.
All right, so Portsmouth expanding again, of course. So 272 residences proposed along Portsmouth's North Mill Pond.
This is a hot topic. Some people are super excited and some are hopping mad about it.
So apparently they initially proposed, the Clipper Traders initially proposed to build about 120 apartment units off Bartlett Street, but their new project proposes a total of 272 new housing units. So sounds like they're including constructing 3 4-story apartment buildings with a total of 232 apartments with basement level parking, and also includes 5 row house buildings with a total of 40 units and associated site improvements, which includes community space.
Yeah, and that's important. I think whenever anything new is built in Portsmouth, one of the biggest questions is where are the cars going to go, particularly downtown Portsmouth? Where will they be parked? So this is going to add some spots there.
Yep.
It also looks like some of the units are going to be, I'm not going to call them a micro unit,
Right.
but like a studio or a
Well,
very
they
small...
actually did call them micro
Did
units.
they call them micro
yeah,
units?
They did,
yeah, so a very small studio or 1 bedroom, almost like a...
500 square feet or less.
Yeah, like a convenience type apartment.
Yeah. I wonder what the rent will be on those. These are being built by the same gentleman who built Port Walk Place, and he's also building the AC Hotel in the North End as well. So 5% of the units will be these micro units, 5% will be studios, 60% will be 1 bedrooms, and the rest will be 2 to 3 bedrooms. And apartments will rent at market rate.
Yep.
It would be really nice though if there was some more affordable housing in Portsmouth though, rather than, I mean, not that there's so much demand, I guess, that there's really no way to even make that happen.
It's a good topic to discuss, and I know we'll keep coming back to it on this podcast. You know, developers do get to choose what they, you know, submit in terms of a project. And at the end of the day, given what real estate costs just to buy the land and our older infrastructure here, what it takes to prepare a site, it makes sense for people, you know, this is their business, you know, to put up apartments that are going to pay them rents where they're going to recoup more than they're putting out there.
Yeah, of course.
But that doesn't solve our housing crisis here. I mean, we're 99% capacity on rental units. So out there, give us your ideas for how to do this around here. given that we don't have a whole lot of land to put new stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
And it is still a business. So,
Yeah,
you know, the people putting stuff up, it's their job and they're trying to make money at it. So,
and can't blame them for that. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, they're always building new units in Portsmouth. So it'll be exciting to see how those look when they're done.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we'll since it's a hot topic, we may be coming back to it to see whether they approve or not. So yeah, let us know what you think about that if you live in the Portsmouth area, or what you think about housing prices, or we'd just love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
Give us a 5-star review on iTunes.
And
like our page or subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you see us or hear us.
We actually have 2 super fans. We didn't know, Danielle and Kevin.
Yes, so thank you to
Megan
Danielle and
also.
Kevin and Megan.
So,
Yes.
Anyway.
Thank you guys for listening, and have a great day.
Bye, guys.